Chapter 1336. Part Man Part Beast. Zhuihui. Cold moon and desolate mountain point. Two boar-headed beastmen carried Feng Yuan up the mountain from the front and back. Feng Yuan continued to observe. He did not act rashly. My body is a rank 4 goo master. I have an aperture and primeval essence, but I have no goo worms. And I am heavily injured and extremely weak, even if I am in a healthy state. Without any goo worms, I am no match for these two boar-headed beastmen. However, once we get to the cliff, these two boar-headed beastmen will toss me down. From this height, I will definitely die without the protection of any goo worms, unless I had the sovereign immortal body. Thus, my only hope of survival is on this road up the mountain. Immortal killer move, unravel dream. After analyzing this, Feng Yuan used this trump card. After activating unravel dream, Feng Yuan saw immediate effect. He felt like he regained some strength at this instant. For example, he was like an adventurer who was about to die of thirst in the desert earlier, but now, he drank a few drops of water. There was an effect, but isn't the strength I recovered too little? Feng Yuan had no choice. He could only use unravel dream again. This time, some of his injuries had instantly formed scabs. The pain he was feeling became less intense, but on his chest and back, there were still several deep wounds where bones could be seen. They were not recovering. Unravel dream. Unravel dream. Unravel dream. Feng Yuan had to use this immortal killer move continuously. His major injuries healed drastically. Though they did not form scabs, his bleeding condition had ceased. He regained quite a bit of strength. His body had regained some warmth from its initial icy state. But this did not give Feng Yuan any notable battle strength. He was still immortal now. He had primeval essence, but he could not fight any of the boar-headed beastmen alone. Moreover, there were two boar-headed beastmen, not just one. What is going on? Immortal killer move unravel dreams effect was so little. I used it 5 times, but this is all I got. Feng Yuan looked at the cliff that he was reaching. He made up his mind. Forget it. I should take action first. His body bounced up like a lobster. The two boar-headed beastmen were caught by surprise, and he managed to get free from them. Feng Yuan landed on the ground. The tough rocks stabbed into his wounds as he almost fainted from pain. The two boar-headed beastmen had already reacted. They shouted as they pounced at Feng Yuan. Feng Yuan used his profound fighting skills to dodge while escaping and running down the mountain. The two beastmen chased after him in a while. The two boar beastmen found Feng Yuan. Plot point: 2 white boar tusks stabbed into Feng Yuan's injuries on his back, penetrating out of his chest. Feng Yuan stopped moving. Blood flowed out of his mouth. Soon after, his vision turned dark. When he opened his eyes, he was in a hall that he had returned to reality again, sent out of the dream realm. His face was pale, his soul was injured, but what made Feng Yuan surprised was this strange dream realm. This dream realm is the most difficult one I have ever been in. Even though it is a realistic dream realm, the difficulty is incredibly high. As of now, I have not even finished exploring the first scene, and I have already died multiple times. Unravel Dream is also extremely weak in there. What is going on? This problem made Feng Yuan very perplexed. He thought about it and could not deduce anything. He had to take a step back and think about how he could deal with the two beastmen and escape alive. The boar-headed beastmen have huge bodies. If I can enter the forest, it would be easier. But this desolate mountain has no trees around. There are not even any piles of rocks. I can only use Unravel Dream 5 times. Any additional tries would have no effect. Even though it can allow me to regain my strength and stabilize my wounds, the effects are not much. It would be better to have a single goo worm. Furthermore, even if I have goo worms and a forest around, my stamina is limited. I cannot get far. After some analysis, Feng Yuan finally realized. So this dream realm forces me to fall to the bottom of the cliff? Entering the dream realm again. This time, Feng Yuan did not act rashly. He used Unravel Dream and preserved his strength and mental energy. When he was at the cliff, the two boar-headed beastmen tossed him over the cliff. But the point of difference was, in midair, Feng Yuan started to adjust his body, getting close to the cliff. Several breaths later, he saw some strange rocks on the wall. They were protruding out. There were also some trees that lived tenaciously on the cliff face. Bam! With a loud crash, Fang Yuan landed on a rock, his bones broke, and he died. The speed of descent was too fast, my injuries were too severe. I died the moment I landed on a rock. It seems I need to land on the trees. Entering the dream realm again. Using this experience, Fang Yuan landed on a tree. Crack crack. Following the sounds of some breaking branches, Fang Yuan fell downwards after his body broke some branches. But this time, he fell much slower. He used his soles and arms to grab at the cliff wall and adjust his direction. The second tree. Plop. Fang Yuan landed on the tree trunk. He was pierced thoroughly by countless sharp leaves that were as long as an arm that he died on the spot. What? What is this tree? Fang Yuan was expelled from the dream realm again. After many tries, continuously using Guts Goo and Unravel Dream. After dying 18 times in the dream realm, Fang Yuan finally landed at the bottom of the valley, but his injuries were too severe. His four limbs were unusable. Only his right arm had some sensation left. He was bathed in blood as his injuries tore open again. His warm blood was flowing out continuously. His bones were mostly fractured. The intense pain was assaulting him like burning fire. But this was the best result that Fang Yuan could achieve after countless tries. Unravel Dream. Unravel Dream. Unravel Dream. Fang Yuan used Unravel Dream. After he got to the bottom of the valley, it could be used again. Fang Yuan's injuries healed a little. He could exert strength in his right arm. His left leg also regained some sensation, but his right leg was completely broken. It was twisted by his ankle at an awkward angle. Fang Yuan quickly inspected the situation around him as he looked around. There was a pile of corpses, like a mountain. Flesh was rotting. The stench of corpses was dense as a mist, assaulting his nose. What do I do now? While Fang Yuan was dazed, he felt a strong Gu Immortal aura above his head. Two variant human rank 7 Gu Immortals appeared in the sky. They were both beast men. One had a boar head and human body, while another had a snake body and human head. Be careful, it's a big one down there. The Gu Immortal with a snake body and human head said in a cold voice. Ha! Big fellow, why are you sleeping? Wake up. The boar head and human body Gu Immortal laughed loudly. The two were not quiet. They purposely amplified their voices. They sounded like rumbling thunder, reverberating in the valley. Incited by this voice, an overwhelming aura burst out of the mist-like stench of corpses. Rumble. An intense aura burst out in the surroundings. All of the stench in the valley was blown away. That a giant figure appeared in front of Fang Yuan. It was a giant 7 to 8 stories tall. It was black in color. Its black hair flowed like a cape, extending to its waist. Hidden by its hair were two bright red spots that it had awakened. The two Beastman Gu Immortals were stunned by this aura. They were no longer arrogant. They were filled with anxiety and fear. Fang Yuan was the same, because this monster's aura showed him. Rank 8 peak Gu Immortal aura, but it seems like a man and an immemorial desolate beast at the same time. Big fellow, go eat. That's right. This flesh and blood was obtained by our clan after many battles. The two Beastman Gu Immortals urged. How many times have I said it? I have a name. I am Zhuo Yihui. The black giant actually spoke, but it went back to eating after saying that it stretched out its arms. Corpses were grabbed by its monstrous hands as it stuffed them into its mouth. This is not good. Fang Yuan thought. At this rate, he was going to be eaten. Southern border, Black Demon Pit. Southern border had many mountains and many pits. Black Demon Pit was not eye-catching among all the pits. It was small and did not have many Dao marks. That it produced some dark path resources. But for super forces, it was not useful. And for normal forces, the excavation was too tough. Thus, nobody came here. But at this moment, Purple Mountain True Monarch and the others came to Black Demon Pit. What are we doing here? Bai Ningbing looked around. She used the investigative method from Bai Xiang's True Inheritance, but could not see anything. Purple Mountain True Monarch did not answer her. He spoke seemingly at the air. I am here. Act according to our agreement. Previously, I passed you my true inheritance. You owe me a favor. Favor? What favor? A voice came from within the pit. Afterwards, an intense aura burst out, from weak to strong. In the blink of an eye, Bai Ningbing's, Ingwu Xie's, and the others' expressions changed. Only Purple Mountain True Monarch remained calm as before. Haven't you always wanted to be human? Zui hui. Human? Oh, I remember now. You are that guy from back then. Right. Back then, I helped you. You owe me a favor. I, Zui hui, want to be human. I need to return the favor. Tell me, what help do you need? What you are most skilled at, eating humans. Ha ha. I am sick of eating normal humans. Don't worry, they are immortals. There might even be rank 8 Gu immortals. Purple Mountain True Monarch smiled. That's good. Chapter 1337, Mushroom Man Paradise, Dark Grandmaster. Southern Border, Giant Dream Realm, Zui Hui. Hearing the name of this giant monster, Fang Yuan's heart shook intensely. This was an immemorial desolate beast with a mysterious origin. It had existed since 1,000,000 years ago, during the Olden Antiquity era. Every time it appeared, there would be endless slaughter and fighting. In terms of seniority, the dogtail life extending ferret from northern plains was merely a newcomer that rose to fame 300,000 years ago. Bi Hui, Yu Tianguang. These two names were once placed side by side in human history. They were the nightmares of the Olden Antiquity era, Medieval Antiquity era, and Late Antiquity era. They were immemorial desolate beasts, but they possessed human forms. Nobody knew why. Whenever they appeared, they would create endless slaughter. No matter which region, they would whip up a bloody storm. Even Central Continent's heavenly court could not exterminate them. They were extremely crafty. They worked together, and whenever a demon venerable or immortal venerable was alive, they would hide and not show up. Thankfully, when it was Paradise Earth Immortal Venerables era, the kindest immortal venerable throughout history was determined to get rid of these evils. He spent a lot of time and effort, finally locating these two legendary immemorial desolate beasts' hiding spot. After an intense battle, Yu Tianguang died. While Zui Hui was heavily injured, it managed to escape, but it went missing. It was unknown if it was dead or alive. Zui Hui. I actually encountered this legendary immemorial desolate beast in a dream realm. Fang Yuan held in his shock. He continued to climb. Zui Hui was eating all of the corpses around it. In the surroundings of this beast, the mountain-like pile of corpses was pouring into its bloodthirsty mouth. Immortal killer move. This was obviously an immortal killer move. Its chewing alone could not allow it to eat at such a rapid speed. Fang Yuan was having a tough time, that he was heavily injured and could not move fast. The speed of his climbing could not match the speed of suction by Zui Hui. He was dragged towards the center by these moving corpses. Suddenly, Zui Hui breathed in deeply. Intense winds blew. Fang Yuan was caught off guard, and the winds blew him away, into Zui Hui's mouth. Zui Hui chewed rapidly. Fang Yuan was chomped up into meat paste by its sharp teeth. I died again. Fang Yuan returned to reality with his soul injuries. How do I pass this dream realm? This problem was like a giant boulder blocking Fang Yuan's advancement that he fell into deep contemplation. While he was brought up the mountain by the two boar-headed beastmen, Fang Yuan tried many ways but could not escape. He knew now that this dream realm was forcing him to enter the valley. But this valley was more dangerous than the boar-headed beastmen, because a legendary immemorial desolate beast was there. Immemorial desolate beasts rivaled rank 8 Gu immortals, but most of them had low intelligence. They were not the match of rank 8 Gu immortals. But there were exceptions to everything. Among immemorial desolate beasts, there were a certain few unique individuals. Due to all sorts of fortuitous encounters, they had wisdom akin to that of humans. They learned the ways of Gu cultivation and had immortal apertures. They knew how to manipulate immortal Gu and could even unleash immortal killer moves. Their danger was extremely large. Thus, every legendary immemorial desolate beast had its own name, like Dogtail Life extending ferret Mao Li Qiu, Central Continent's evil dragon Di Zongsheng, as well as Huakong, along with Zui Hui and Yu Tianguang. These were all legendary immemorial desolate beasts. Such existences were often stronger than most rank 8 Gu immortals. This could be seen from how the Dogtail Life extending ferret, Mao Li Qiu, killed 2 heavenly court rank 8 Gu immortals. Man is the spirit of all living beings, but they had weak bodies and could not compare to other life forms if Gu worms were not used. Be it speed, strength, lifespan, recovery speed, vision, hearing, and others, humans were inferior. Immemorial desolate beasts possessed extremely dense down marks. They had longer lifespan than humans. Their recovery, strength, and others surpassed an ordinary human. Once they could use immortal goo and immortal killer moves, possessed an immortal aperture, and had wisdom like humans, their strength would naturally surpass rank 8 goo immortals. Does this dream realm want me to try and escape from getting eaten by Zhuyihui? Fang Yuan entered the dream again. Using Unravel Dream along the way, he went to the bottom of the giant corpse pile with a shred of life remaining. Good. Fang Yuan gathered his focus and pushed away all of the corpses before Zhuyihui started eating. Burying himself, Zhuyihui started to suck. Intense winds blew. The surface of the corpse mountain started to fly away towards it. Fang Yuan was intact as he had dug into the corpses, but soon, the intense winds continued unceasingly as he was swept into Zhuyihui's mouth again. F***ck. Fang Yuan's final view was a row of sharp teeth stabbing into his body. Entering the dream again. I'll dig, and dig more. Fang Yuan continued as he used Unravel Dream to find some easy spots to drill into, allowing his progress to be faster. Zhuyihui continued to breathe in. After a long time, the wind stopped. Fang Yuan was also on his last breaths, hiding among the corpses. I finally endured it. While he was rejoicing, one of the 2 Beastman Goo immortals in the air spoke. Zhuyihui, good appetite, the dark giant said. Too few. I want to eat more humans. The more humans I eat, the closer I am to becoming human. Don't worry, there's more. The Beastman Goo immortal laughed as it opened its immortal aperture. A large number of human goo master corpses fell down like a waterfall. F***ck. Fang Yuan's expression changed. He uncontrollably cursed the next moment. He was squashed to death by the pile of corpses. Entering the dream again. Fang Yuan dug into the corpse pile, but this time, he did not use his full strength. After the intense winds vanished, he was at the top layer of the remaining corpses. Corpses rained down as Fang Yuan quickly climbed towards the walls, trying to find some mountain rocks as his shelter. After the corpses rained down, he was intact. What should I do now? Fang Yuan looked at the pile of corpses in front of him as he thought rapidly. Currently, he was still buried among the corpses. He was about 6 meters away from the top layer, and now, he felt a numb sensation in his chest. Fang Yuan could not see in the pile of corpses. He used his hand to touch it. Next, he touched a slippery tail. It seemed like a snake or a centipede. Next, this tail drilled into his chest. Am I dying again? This question had just appeared in his mind when he was kicked out of the dream realm yet again. Earlier, that seems to be a goo worm? Fang Yuan thought in real life. There are so many mortal goo master corpses. It seemed like a huge battle occurred, and some mortal goo were not taken away. That is normal. Even if goo immortals find them, those tiny mortal goo are not of significance to them. Of course, in an extreme environment like the Sea of Corpses, while goo might be created, it is not strange. Fang Yuan acutely sensed that this goo worm was his opportunity. After his injuries healed, he entered the dream realm again. Refinement of the goo worm failed. He died. Refining again. This time, he was in a deadlock as Zhuyihui started to eat again. Fang Yuan was interrupted and failed. He died. Finally, after refining the goo worm, he realized that it was a rank 2 goo worm used for offense. Fang Yuan cursed as once again he died. Again, he died. And died. And died. What sort of rotten dream is this? There were an uncountable number of failures. Even one time, because of his actions, the 2 goo immortals took notice and waved their fingers, causing Fang Yuan to die from a mystical light. Despair. I in this dream realm. Fang Yuan was too weak. Any mishap or wind was a fatal danger to him that caused him to die. Should I give up on this dream realm? Thoughts continuously appeared of giving up. Fang Yuan's investment in this dream realm was beyond the rest, but hope was bleak. He could not see any chance of success. This dream realm was unimaginably difficult. Let's try once more. I can persevere once more. I died again. Should I give up? There was another chain of deaths. Fang Yuan wanted to give up, but he could not bear to because he had invested so much. More importantly, he had never seen such a dream realm. If he succeeded, it would be a huge accumulation of experience to him. Even if he gave up now, Would he encounter such a dream realm again in the future, gritting his teeth and persevering until the final time? There were about 60 corpses in the ground in the valley. Fang Yuan struggled for a long time before preserving his life. He was mixed among them. A goo formation appeared. Fang Yuan discovered that Zui Yihui was trapped by this super goo formation. Its lower body was buried in the ground. Only its upper body could move. This damned four elements formation. Let me break you. After it ate enough, Zui Yihui roared at the sky as it burst out with a powerful dark gray light. The gray light enveloped the entire valley. Oh no, this is the immortal killer move Gray Knight. Let's retreat. The two Beastman Goo immortals flew into the sky. The four elements formation activated, as earth, water, wind, and fire, for mystical lights burst out and resisted the gray light, limiting it to the valley. Zui Yihui growled in anger and unwillingness to give in, but it was useless. How can I dodge this? The gray light was everywhere, enveloping the valley. The Beastman Goo immortals could run, but Fang Yuan could not. He watched as the surrounding grass and rocks were eliminated by this gray light. He himself was no exception. Fang Yuan fell into deep despair. This is an unsolvable dream realm. The gray light cannot be dodged. If I had known this, I would have given up long ago. That was the wiser decision. Feeling deep regret, Fang Yuan returned to the real world. His soul injury was much more severe than any of his previous attempts. But what made Fang Yuan joyful was that his dark path attainment level had risen to Grandmaster level all of a sudden. What happened? Fang Yuan quickly inspected. He was shocked to find out that this dream realm had vanished. So lasting until the final moment meant passing this dream realm. I succeeded. This is a survival-type dream realm. I only needed to last till the end. This dream realm only had one scene, but after passing it, my ordinary dark path attainment level rose up to Grandmaster level. Is it because of Zui Yihui's existence? Many questions were left unanswered. Fang Yuan's knowledge of dream realms was too shallow. After all, he had not invested effort into dream realms in the 500 years of his previous life. At the same time, Bai Ningbing and He Lulan were filled with questions. Where is this? He Lulan looked at the world of birds and flowers that was shrouded in thin fog as she asked. This is the Mushroom Man Paradise. A variant human Goo immortal appeared from within the fog. Mushroom Man Goo immortal? Bai Ningbing's dragon pupil shrunk. Mushroom men were a type of variant humans. They resembled humans, but there was a mushroom cap on their heads, resembling a hat. Below the mushroom cap were the mushroommen's brows and eyes. As for nose, ears, and other features, they were all present. Mushroom Man. Paradise. He Lulan muttered these two words. Don't tell me. This is Paradise Earth Immortal Venerables. Chapter 1338. 7 Illusions True Inheritance. Chakra Melons. Before He Lulan finished her words, Purple Mountain True Monarch interrupted. That's right. This blessed land has been modified by Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. It faces no calamities and tribulations. The Mushroom Man blessed land has turned into the Mushroom Man Paradise. Of course, there are many paradises in this world, but this one is very special because Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable had cultivated here before he became a Venerable. Oh, the Mushroom Man Goo Immortal sighed deeply. Ever since I obtained that true inheritance, I knew that one day I would have to pay a huge price. But if you want me to help you with evil deeds, that is impossible. You can just kill me. I won't kill you. Purple Mountain True Monarch showed a crafty smile. I want you to bring them into the Melon Cave, where Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable had once stayed in and cultivated for some time. You won't refuse this request, right? The Mushroom Man Goo Immortal's expression became even more bitter. He thought for a while before nodding solemnly. All right, I agree. Mushroom Man Paradise, Melon Cave. This cave was guarded by the Mushroom Man Goo Immortal. Purple Mountain True Monarch assimilated with Heaven's will. He could sense Heaven's will's plotting. He used this Mushroom Man Goo Immortal to successfully send He Lulan and Bai Ningbing into this magical place. These are the chakra melons that my tribe grows. You can cultivate here secretly, but don't damage a single melon. The Mushroom Man Goo Immortal said. Chakra melons? Bai Ningbing and He Lulan looked at each other. seeing the shock on their faces. Chakra melons were rank 7 immortal materials, containing refinement path down marks. They could be used in any gu refinement. Thus, this immortal material was very widely used. And now, both of them saw the scale of this melon plantation cave. It was simply terrifyingly huge. How many chakra melons were there? Purple Mountain True Monarch explained from the side. No need to guess. This is the largest chakra melon production area in Treasure Yellow Heaven. They have almost 60% of the market share. Of course, I did not bring you here for the chakra melons. The important thing is this super goo formation. This super goo formation uses rule path ripe immortal goo as the core, and it also uses rank 7 do immortal goo as a supplementary immortal goo. When you train your immortal killer moves here, the effectiveness will rise sharply. You will become more proficient in them. And because of do immortal goo, your immortal essence recovery speed will be very fast inside the goo formation. He Lulan and Bai Ningbing heard this and showed great joy. Such a cultivation paradise simply suited them perfectly. He Lulan cultivated strength path primarily along with fire path. She had few strength path immortal goo and many fire path immortal goo. She also had countless fire path immortal killer moves left by her aunt in the fire path true inheritance. Bai Ningbing had just obtained Bai Xiang's true inheritance. She was not weak either. She had many immortal goo and immortal killer moves. Right now, what restricted them was the fact that they had just obtained their true inheritances and did not have the time to fully convert these gains into battle strength in the regional walls. When they fought Feng Yuan, this weakness was very obvious. Purple Mountain True Monarch woke up and took charge. In order to raise his side's battle strength, he brought these two here, using this paradise to train the two immortals. Melon Cave had a huge space. The Mushroom Man grew immortal easily. Provided an area for Bai Ningbing and He Lulan to cultivate. After making arrangements for them, Purple Mountain True Monarch left the Mushroom Man paradise. Days passed by. Feng Yuan was still in the Super Gu formation, exploring dream realms. On the surface, he was cultivating in seclusion. He had deceived everyone. Nobody knew that he was exploring dream realms. His gains were immense. Qi Shang was a good benchmark. Qi Shang was the formation devotee. After more than 100 years of researching formation path, he reached his formation path grandmaster attainment level. At his age, his talents and achievements were considered rare among Gu immortals. Meanwhile, Feng Yuan only spent a month or two to pass a dream realm with formation path true meaning and become a formation path grandmaster. Because dream realms were so amazing and could reduce the time needed for accumulations. During the 5 regions chaotic war, all sorts of Gu immortal experts appeared. They were like shining stars in the sky. There were countless geniuses. Right now, Feng Yuan was not only a formation path grandmaster, he was also a dark path grandmaster. With such attainment level, Feng Yuan had new ideas towards the use of dark limit immortal Gu. Right now, I can use dark limit immortal Gu as the core to form an immortal killer move targeting myself to prevent the deduction of others. Along with my dark path down marks, this immortal killer move's power will be very terrifying. I can even use dark limit immortal Gu as the core to form an immortal killer move that can unleash an attack resembling dark arrow immortal Gu. There is also another idea. I can use dark limit immortal Gu and other immortal killer moves to conceal all of the auras of these killer moves. After using them, I can catch people off guard and achieve incredible effects. Actually, for Feng Yuan, he needed food path and information path dream realms most. Food path would allow him to feed immortal Gu more easily with lower costs. The savings could be used to assist in his cultivation or development of resources. Information path was even more important. Feng Yuan had many information path alliance agreements right now. This made him lose a lot of freedom. When he did things, he was restricted. It was inconvenient. There was another point. If his information path attainment level rose, Feng Yuan would be able to decipher many information path traps and methods. He would be able to cooperate with Shadow Sect. But things in this world did not come according to one's wishes. The place that Feng Yuan was guarding was like a window. After he finished his exploration, Zui Hui's dream realm vanished. The new dream realms that filled up the space were all strange and absurd types. Feng Yuan did not want to try these types of dream realms, even if he had unraveled dream. Feng Yuan patiently waited. Dream realms changed among themselves occasionally, but because he met with absurd dream realms consecutively, Fang Yuan could only divert his efforts elsewhere. Developing his immortal aperture was the key goal. Secondly, his newly obtained dark path attainment level allowed him to create some useful immortal killer moves. And finally, he had to collect information. After Heavenly Court lost 3 rank 8 Gu immortals, they kept a low profile. The 5 regions were in a state of peace, but Wu Clan's troubles did not end. Even with Wu Yong suppressing the situation, sending people to resolve conflicts, the other super forces were causing all sorts of problems. Wu Clan was extremely busy in dealing with them. There was a troublesome matter recently. The cause was the Immortal Gu recipe of Bathing Flames Immortal Gu. Immortal Gu Master had by chance excavated it. Once news spread, Yao Clan's and Wu Clan's attention was drawn. This Immortal Gu recipe was part of the content of the Fire Path True Inheritance left by Stunning Immortal. 1,000 years ago, Wu Clan and Yao Clan had lingering enmity after fighting over this Fire Path True Inheritance. Eventually, both sides suffered losses, but they did not obtain this Fire Path True Inheritance. The Fire Path True Inheritance was said to be destroyed, but since the recipe of Bathing Flames Immortal Gu appeared, everyone started to have hope, especially Wu Clan and Yao Clan. Due to historical reasons, these two super forces had to get this Immortal Gu recipe. Even if they could not get it, the other party was not allowed to get it. Thus, Wu Yong sent out Wu Yiran. He gave up on defending Blood Tide Pit, a resource point. Wu Yiran had rank 7 cultivation level. He had outstanding battle strength. He obeyed the orders as he wanted to quickly settle the matter. But soon, he found that there was no stunning immortal true inheritance. Only this Bathing Flames Immortal Gu recipe was left. As a result, many Gu immortals left. They did not want to offend 2 super forces just for an Immortal Gu recipe. Yao Clan was not going to give up. They sent a powerful person, Yao Gung. Wu Yiran and Yao Gung fought 4 times. They had 2 wins and losses each. The final match was the crucial one. During this crucial moment, Purple Mountain True Monarch secretly arrived at a meeting point on a nameless mountain. He met a mysterious Gu immortal. The mysterious Gu immortal was covered in rainbow light, concealing his appearance. "You called me here?" Purple Mountain True Monarch nodded. "That's right. Regardless of how you obtained the complete 7 illusions true inheritance, you have already made an alliance agreement. You need to do 7 things for me." "All right, which 7? The mysterious Gu immortal answered openly. Purple Mountain True Monarch's lips curled. "First, kill Wu Yiran." The mysterious Gu immortal was stunned. "Are you sure?" Purple Mountain True Monarch's smile widened, continuing. "Second, kill Yao Gung." The mysterious Gu immortal was wary. "What are you trying to do?" "You don't need to care about that. Just kill the 2 of them." Purple Mountain True Monarch chuckled. The mysterious Gu immortal snorted coldly. His body vanished on the spot as he left. Purple Mountain True Monarch's smile gradually faded. His arms were behind his back as he looked at a faraway mountain with a deep gaze. "There is not much time left. I need to take action," he muttered softly. A few days later, shocking news emerged. Wu Yiran and Yao Gung both went missing. The result of their fight was unknown. Wu Clan and Yao Clan were shaken, because from their life tablet Gu and soul lantern Gu, Wu Yiran and Yao Gung were already dead. Who was so ruthless? Wu Yong was enraged. Right when he sent Gu immortals to investigate this, Blood Tide Pit erupted. A huge blood tide caused great destruction. Wu Clan quickly sent Gu immortals to suppress the situation, but they found traces that an immortal killer move, Collapsing Art, was used at the scene. Collapsing Art was a killer move self-created by Yao Gung. The traces at the scene were indisputable. The situation became complex. Did Yao Gung die after all? Is this Yao Clan's scheme? Other than Yao Clan, is any other clan striking? Wu Yong felt something amiss. He could sense a dangerous storm brewing. Chapter 1339, Framing, Blood Tide Pit. Splash, splash, splash. Sounds of waves were unceasing. The air was filled with a bloody smell, assaulting everyone's noses. The 2 Gu immortals from Wu Clan, Wu Yuanju and Rong Hao, were flying in the sky now. Looking at the sea of blood below, the former's expression was solemn, while the latter's was bitter. The blood flood has spread an enormous distance. More than 10 mountains were flooded. If we do not seal it now, this calamity will cause even greater damage later. Wu Yuanzhu said solemnly. Blood Tide Pit was originally defended by Wu Yiran, but after he died, Blood Tide Pit was taken down and the goo formations inside were destroyed. This caused the blood tide to burst out and flood the surrounding area, causing this huge disaster. Rong Hao had a worried expression. It will not be easy for the two of us to create a new goo formation and seal the blood tide again. If we had another rank 6, with 3 goo immortals, we would barely be able to do it. These two had rank 6 cultivation level. It was not difficult to handle this blood tide disaster, but Wu Yong gave them a limited amount of time. 2 people were not able to resolve this in a short period of time. There was no choice. Wu Yong could not deploy more people to handle this troublesome situation. During Wu Duxiu's era, Wu clan rapidly expanded without obstruction, because Wu Duxiu could suppress the entire situation alone. Once Wu Duxiu died, Wu Yong took over. Wu clan only had 1 rank 8 left. Even though Wu Yong had great capabilities, Wu clan's territory was just too big, due to Purple Mountain True Monarch scheme. The super forces could not control their desires. Wu clan was faced with obstacles created by many of the super forces that Wu Yong stayed in their headquarters and was maintaining the situation and deciding on who to send. But this time, Wu Yiran had died. With him gone, a huge gap formed instantly in Wu clan's defense line. Sending out Wu Yuanzhu and Rong Hao was already Wu clan's limit. Give it our all, even if we exceed the time limit. We have already tried our best. Wu Yuanzhu sighed, starting to act. Rong Hao cooperated. He was not a Wu clansman. He was an external supreme elder recruited by Wu clan. Southern Borders clans were very unwelcoming to outsiders. It was not easy for Wu clan to break tradition and recruit an external Gu immortal into Wu clan. Under the 2 Gu immortals methods, the blood tide continued to push backwards. The blood tide pit was like a huge, monstrous mouth, devouring the blood outside. The situation was under control that it was getting better. Wu Yuanzhu sighed. After suppressing this blood tide and rebuilding the Gu formation, Rong Hao, you will have to take over the position of guarding this place. I hope you can be careful. The situation is quite tense now. Rong Hao nodded. I understand. I heard that this blood tide pit was not naturally formed. It was created by Blood Sea Ancestor on purpose. Wu Yuanzhu nodded. Blood Sea Ancestor left behind 7 true inheritances. This is one of the 7 true inheritances that he had meticulously arranged. It was not eye-catching earlier, similar to normal pits, but when a Gu master from Shang clan entered, he obtained a Blood Sea true inheritance, obtaining Blood Handprint Gu. This person is Shang clan's previous clan leader, Shang Yanfei. He had died on Etian Mountain. After Shang Yanfei took away the Blood Sea true inheritance, blood tides started to appear in this pit unceasingly. Wu Duxiu sent Gu immortals here and made this part of Wu clan's territory. Due to Wu clan's management, blood tide pit quickly became a blood path resource point. Wu clan was developing blood path. This resource point made great contributions. You two sure are happy. At this time, Rong Hao heard a voice in his mind. Who? Rong Hao was shocked. He wanted to use his methods to defend himself, but he could not move at all. He quickly looked over at Wu Yuanzhu to seek help, but he was soon met with despair, as Wu Yuanzhu was also immobilized. In the same state as him, that a small figure had appeared on Rong Hao's shoulder. He was the size of a thumb. He had wings on his back, resembling dragonfly wings. His purple hair was very eye-catching. It was none other than rank 8 Wisdom Path, Gu Immortal Purple Mountain True Monarch, Mini-Man Gu Immortal. Wu Yuanzhu was shocked, but he quickly calmed down. Purple Mountain True Monarch's aura was concealed. He did not expose his rank 8 aura. Rong Hao quickly added, as a variant human, you must know that humans are the rulers of the world. No matter who instigated you, I hope that you will not act rashly. Because we are not only human Gu immortals, we are also members of Wu clan. Wu clan is the #1 righteous path force in Southern Border. If you kill us, the consequences will be severe. We have no grudges between us. We of Wu clan would not bully people. If you have any requests, we can help you with them. We can become friends. Wu Yuanzhu continued. He had great chemistry with Rong Hao, both threatening and urging at the same time. But before he finished his words, he started to stutter as his gaze turned hollow. Ronghao was shocked. He blurted out, "Wisdom path gu immortal?" At this point, he also became incoherent. Purple Mountain True Monarch's wisdom path methods interfered with Wu Yuanju's and Ronghao's thoughts. They could not even think and speak now. They were completely defenseless. When Gu Immortals manipulate Gu worms, thoughts were needed. Their body actions also needed thoughts to act. Purple Mountain True Monarch directly interfered with their thoughts, controlling them from this aspect. These two rank 6 Gu Immortals had no way of resisting him easily. Controlling the situation, Purple Mountain True Monarch looked at the blood-tide pit and smiled. Next, his rank 8 aura burst out. In the blink of an eye, it engulfed the surroundings. The blood tide below his feet became calmer. After some time, Purple Mountain True Monarch opened his mouth, letting out a breath. His breath floated into the blood tide pit. It was not eye-catching, quickly devoured by the rushing blood tide. Vanishing at this point, Purple Mountain True Monarch turned around, looking afar and saying, "Your turn." Light in 7 colors appeared as a voice said in a trembling tone, "You are a rank 8 great expert. With your strength, you can move unhindered in southern border. Why must you find trouble with a minor character like me? I have my own plans. You have to pay for what you owe. When you inherited 7 illusions true inheritance, you should have expected this day," Purple Mountain True Monarch said. "But the inheritors before me have never received any orders." "Why me?" The mysterious Gu Immortal covered in rainbow lights said in a reluctant tone. Purple Mountain True Monarch sighed, looking at Heavenly Court. "Maybe this is your fate. All right, use Xiao Zhikai's method to kill this person." Wu Yuanju and Ronghao were still dazed, unable to move. Purple Mountain True Monarch captured these two alive, but he still wanted the mysterious Gu Immortal to kill them. The mysterious Gu Immortal did not dare to disobey Purple Mountain True Monarch. He used his profound light, as it transformed and landed on these two Wu Clan Gu Immortals, destroying their souls, and even their bodies turning into wooden statues. Purple Mountain True Monarch released control on them, as these two statues fell into the blood tide. "Let's go," Purple Mountain True Monarch said plainly. How could the mysterious Gu Immortal defy Purple Mountain True Monarch? Even if he was not a rank 8 great expert, with just the Information Path Alliance agreement in the True Inheritance, it could restrict the mysterious Gu Immortal. Both of them left as quickly as they came. Of course, Purple Mountain True Monarch did not forget to clean up his traces in the battlefield. A moment later, intense winds blew in the air, countless clouds were scattered. Clear skies could be seen everywhere. A grand and vast rank 8 aura enveloped the area. Wu Yang's expression was of rage. His eyes were slightly red as he descended. Who was it? Who had killed them? Wu Yiran died earlier, and now Wu Yuanju and Ronghao were dead. Because of Life Tablet Gu and Soul Lantern Gu, Wu Clan received news almost immediately. Wu Yong was enraged. He decided to go out himself. Wu Clan lost 3 Gu Immortals at once. 1 rank 7 and 2 rank 6s. The losses was tremendous. Wu Yong felt both loss and anger. He wants to see who it was that could step past this bottom line and anger Wu Clan. But next, after seeing Wu Yuanju's and Ronghao's corpses, Wu Yong was stunned. Wooden statue murder? His pupils shrunk to pin size. Xiao Zhikai. A moment later, Xiao Clan Gu Immortal Xiao Zhikai rushed to the scene. Blood Tide Pit had been suppressed, the ground was completely covered in blood, and there were also 2 Wu Clan Gu Immortal corpses. Xiao Clan First Supreme Elder, what do you have to say? Wu Yong had a calm expression. His tone was very plain. But the calmer he was, the more fearful Xiao Zhikai was. He was Xiao Clan's First Supreme Elder. His signature immortal killer move was Wooden Statue Murder. If any ordinary Gu Immortal was hit by this, their souls would crumble and disperse. They would lose their life. Their bodies would turn into wood, and the remaining life force could be used to grow trees. Ignoring the cold sweat on his forehead, Xiao Zhikai explained, Lord Wu Yong, please listen, I did not do this. Someone is trying to frame me. Xiao Clan and Wu Clan have a long relationship. We are closely related. Before Xiao Zhikai finished his words, Wu Yong interrupted him. His eyes were shining. He stared at Xiao Zhikai. Of course I am willing to trust you. Xiao clan and Wu clan. We have marriage connections. We are in an alliance. How can our relationship be ruined by this? Xiao Zhikai let out a breath of air, bowing deeply. Lord Wu Yong is wise. Wu Yong continued. If someone is trying to frame you, this is way too obvious. Who is it? What motives do they have? What plans do they have next? This is what I am concerned about. Wait a while. I have already invited Tai Clan Gu Immortal Tai Mian Shun. Chapter 1340. Ghost Summoning, Tai Mian Shun. Southern Border, Tai Clan, Wan Chung Mountain. Rumble. A chain of low sounds enveloped this unassuming valley. At the bottom of this valley, there was a girl. She had a tall body. Her legs were more than 60% of her total height. She looked heroic and agile. Right now, her eyebrows were sharp like swords. Her eyes were shining like stars. She looked upwards. Giant rocks that were the size of houses were crashing down towards her by the cliff. The girl breathed in deeply. At this moment of life and death, she shut her eyes. Hundreds of giant rocks were about to land on her. But at this moment, she opened her eyes. In an instant, golden light radiated. It was extremely dazzling. As if a miniature sun had appeared in the valley, the light lasted for a while before vanishing. The loud sounds also vanished. Endless white powder scattered down, slowly descending. The young woman was bathed in the rock powder, joy showing on her determined face. Good, Tai Ronan. You succeeded in this killer move I taught, passing the final test. From now onwards, you will follow me and cultivate. I will teach you the ways of becoming an immortal. A grand voice echoed in this valley. The young girl knelt on the ground. Thank you for the guidance, Lord Supreme Elder. You hate evil so much and have great talent. You are suited for my iron mask true inheritance. Originally, your father was one of my chosen seeds, but to think that his daughter had countless times his talent. The grand voice suddenly stopped. But soon, Tai Ruanan heard. There is a sudden issue. Stay here and cultivate. The killer move I taught you might have succeeded, but you are not proficient enough. During this period, you need to practice more. When I return, we will have further plans. Yes. The girl respectfully bowed. Excitement could not be concealed on her face. Finally, I finally did it. Father, I surpassed you. Watch me in heaven. I will become a Gu immortal and obtain true strength. This world is too dark and chaotic. Only with greater strength can I punish evildoers and reward those who carry out good deeds. Justice will prevail, and the world will be a better place. Zhongli, you bitch who murdered your own husband. To think that my brother treated you so well, and in the end, you actually acted so ruthlessly and killed him. Today, I will cut you into pieces. You will die without a proper corpse. A young Gu immortal shouted. His rage was unstoppable. His rank 7 aura was bursting. Fang Yuan. Ever since he passed the dream realm regarding Zui Yihui, his dark path attainment level had risen to Grandmaster level. But next, there was an absurd dream realm. Fang Yuan played safe and did not explore this dream realm full of uncertainties. After waiting for a while, he finally encountered a realistic dream realm. But in the end, he became a female Gu immortal in this dream realm, and was very risque, because this female immortal cultivated enchantment emotion path. This was a tiny path, derived from wisdom path as a minor path. It used emotions to fight, and enchantment to allure enemies. Right now, Fang Yuan was a female immortal. He wore a pink dress. There were 2 huge treasures on his upper body. The corners of his skirt were open and exposed until his upper thigh. When he smiled, it was incredibly seductive. Fang Yuan was helpless about this. This was another person's dream realm. He had to be a character in it if he wanted to take part in the dream. Of course, becoming a woman would not disrupt Fang Yuan's impassive mental state. He was vigilant against his enemy as he concentrated on his immortal aperture. What made Fang Yuan glad was that this female immortal had many immortal Gu. I'll try this Gu first. Fang Yuan instilled immortal essence as he heard an alluring cry from it. This voice that appeared was not controlled by Fang Yuan. It was a woman's voice filled with seduction and temptation. The young Gu immortal was very angry earlier, but after hearing this sound, his body went limp, his killing intent faded. His momentum was lost as he gritted his teeth, clarity returning to his eyes. Vicious woman, you dare to toy with me. Take this move. Saying this, he pushed with his hands as a huge tornado swept towards Feng Yuan with countless wind blades. Feng Yuan quickly retreated, dodging as he used his second immortal goo. Immediately, Feng Yuan's skirt turned into a pink fog as it coiled around him, bringing Feng Yuan away quickly. The speed was impressive. Feng Yuan sighed. It was not inferior to sword escape immortal goo. The only regretful part was, the farther he flew, the thinner the pink fog on his body. It was able to cover his entire body earlier, but now his tender white thighs and arms were exposed already. Feng Yuan was not afraid of running naked. This mindset of being embarrassed was no longer in him. Moreover, this was a dream. The regretful thing was, this immortal goo could not be used for long. Otherwise, with just this speed, his enemy was not a problem. Slut, you ran quickly. But you will die today. In order to kill you and avenge my brother, I will do anything and pay any price. The young goo immortal shouted loudly with blood-red eyes at the same time. He used his immortal killer move. Jade green wind gathered into a small dagger in his palm. The dagger shone with jade light. Feng Yuan took a look at it and felt fearful. Oh no. Feng Yuan's heart sank. Just these one or two immortal goo alone cannot stop the immortal killer move. But I do not know what immortal killer moves this Zhongli possesses. As he felt troubled, Feng Yuan quickly used Unravel Dream. Suddenly, a mysterious power moved in Feng Yuan's immortal aperture. An immortal goo and dozens of mortal goo were activated under this mysterious power. This is... Feng Yuan sensed this and felt great joy that he quickly continued to use Unravel Dream. Under its influence, the mysterious power continued to exert its strength. Many goo worms in his immortal aperture were used. Next, a completely unknown immortal killer move was activated. Feng Yuan did not know what this immortal killer move did, or what effect it had. There was no time to lose, right now. The young goo immortal had already blown at his hand with his lips. That jade wind dagger shot out like an arrow, flying towards Feng Yuan. Fast and ruthless. Feng Yuan sighed to himself. At this moment, it was all up to chance. Would Unravel Dream use an effective immortal killer move to defend against this jade wind dagger? Feng Yuan had no idea. But under the effect of this killer move, Feng Yuan could not help but pinch his fingers, waving at this young goo immortal as he whispered bewitchingly. Ghost summoning. This voice was enchanting to the limit. Even Feng Yuan shuddered upon hearing it. Next, a ghost really came. This goo immortal soul had rank 7 battle strength. It flew towards the jade wind dagger relentlessly. That young goo immortal saw the ghost, and his expression changed. He shouted, "Brother!" It turned out that this female immortal, Zhongli, had killed her husband and refined his soul into an immortal killer move. Feng Yuan saw this, and had a flash of inspiration. He called out, "As long as I stop this killer move, your brother's soul can be saved. Destroy it if you dare." The young goo immortal was enraged, but he was afraid of harming his brother. He could not fight properly. Feng Yuan was intensely joyful. He quickly attacked and stabilized the situation. A moment later, he found a flaw and killed him. He passed the dream realm. Huff. Feng Yuan let out a breath of air, returning to reality. This dream realm only had one scene. Feng Yuan was slightly surprised. This was a tiny dream realm. Feng Yuan passed it in one try. Inspecting himself, he found that his attainment level for Wisdom Path and Soul Path had risen. Enchantment Emotion Path had never left Wisdom Path. There are no Enchantment Emotion Path Dao marks in this world, only Wisdom Path Dao marks. Thus, my Wisdom Path attainment level grew. As for Soul Path, perhaps that Zhongli cultivated Soul Path too. Her ghost summoning immortal killer move belongs to Soul Path. He analyzed and looked at his attainment level. Right now, he had 8 Grandmaster level paths. They were Blood Path, Strength Path, Transformation Path, Star Path, Wisdom Path, Water Path, Dark Path, and Formation Path. Refinement Path was Quasi-Grandmaster. Luck Path was Master. Phantom Path was empty. His Sword Path attainment level was ordinary. His Soul Path was also ordinary. But after Zhang Li's Dream Realm, it had risen to Quasi-Master level. That immortal killer move, Ghost Summoning, is quite interesting. Even though I do not have enough Soul Path attainment level, my Wisdom Path is Grandmaster. It was from a realistic dream realm. I very likely can use this same killer move again with a portion of its strength. Even if I cannot replicate it, I can create a similar immortal killer move. But even if I replicate this immortal killer move, it is inferior to improving Vajra Shell. Ordinary Gu immortals would be happy if there was a possibility. They would try to deduce the immortal killer move. But Fang Yuan was different. Recently, his attainment level had risen a lot. He had countless inspirations. He could only choose to modify the immortal killer moves with the highest value to him. This was a good problem to have. His Dark Path attainment level was Grandmaster. He could use Dark Limit Immortal Gu and Perseverance Immortal Gu as the cores to create a new immortal killer move. This immortal killer move would allow him to conceal himself. His Formation Path attainment level rose. Fang Yuan had a new idea about Vajra Shell. This made him extremely moved. The original Vajra Shell used Vajra Thought Immortal Gu and Perseverance Immortal Gu as the cores, but in his concept, if he could add in Precaution Immortal Gu and some Formation Path Mortal Gu, the power would rise by multiple times. After Zhang Li's Dream Realm, the following ones were not suited for exploration. Fang Yuan started to shift his focus, modifying the immortal killer move Vajra Shell. Just as Fang Yuan rapidly increased his strength, Tai Mianshan arrived in front of Qiao Zhikai and Wu Yong. This rank 7 Gu immortal wore a martial uniform. His chest and legs were covered in light armor. There was a thick iron mask on his face. He had not brought a mask to wear. It was the trait of cultivating the iron mask true inheritance. All the Gu immortals who cultivate this true inheritance must have a heart of justice. They also were often people most skilled in southern border in investigating the truth. After seeing those two corpses, Tai Mianshan declared, "It was not Xiao Zhikai." Xiao Zhikai let out a breath of air. "Who was it?" Wu Yong asked. "Someone mimicked his immortal killer move wooden statue murder. This is something seen before in history." Tai Mianshan answered, "Lord Wu Yong, I wonder if you have heard of 7 Illusions Demon Immortal?" Wu Yong frowned. "You mean the inheritor of the 7 Illusions true inheritance? It is said that the Gu immortal who inherits it will have a method to mimic almost any method used by Gu immortals in this world." Tai Mianshan. "Is that true?" Tai Mianshan nodded. "Our clan's demon suppression tower had once contained a 7 Illusions demon immortal. We did not manage to get the contents of the 7 Illusions true inheritance, but we know a lot of its secrets. This 7 Illusions true inheritance has 7 different layers. The inheritor can choose to inherit any of the layers or get the complete 7 Illusions true inheritance. But after inheriting one true inheritance, they will have to agree to one condition. In the future, they would need to do something for someone. Taking all 7 layers would mean 7 conditions. Our clan has already devised methods to locate a 7 Illusions inheritor and differentiate their methods. I used it earlier. This was undoubtedly a 7 Illusions demon immortal." "Interesting." Wu Yong nodded, frowning deeply. Even if they knew the truth, so what? Who was the 7 Illusions demon immortal? Which force or person was behind them? Wu Yong still did not know the answer to this problem, but at the next moment, Tai Mianshan's words eased Wu Yong's frown.